I've actually had this discussion with my older son. His what's the app that has been in the news?
Robinhood.
Robinhood, yeah. So a lot of his buddies had gotten into getting a Robinhood account, and we're trying to cash in on the GameStop,
ACM theaters, AMC.
craze and that kind of thing. And I asked him about 8 months later how that went, and now. Granted, they probably were putting in at most $100, but to a college kid, that's a lot of money. But their stocks are obviously not doing very well.
Yeah,
right now.
and that's really where you can also talk to the kid. There's where you can let them know there's a difference between investing and speculating.
Right.
Right. We're investors for individuals and want people we work with. We want clients that we work with to be investors, not speculators.
That's right.
Because you can. It can gain a lot, but it can lose just as much or more.
So I learned that those stocks are called meme stocks. That's what, and I guess it makes sense where, you learn about it through TikTok or Instagram or something like that. And but that's where our kids get their information a lot of times, right or wrong. That's where they're getting it. So educate them about the process of long-term investing, and that get rich quick is not a something that happens.
It's not a quality financial plan. That's correct. Yeah. And, as we wrap up, that goes along with what you just said. I mean, have a long-term perspective. And, if you can establish that with your kids, they can really start off on a good foot with a good financial path. Yeah.
And, I think having the discussion, helping them, have a sense of direction, but also don't necessarily pave their road for them. We've all learned our best lessons from a failure or setback, and those setbacks still happen to all of us even today, especially financially. It could be a market pullback. It could be a bad purchase that we've made,
a lost job.
Or lost job, and that's going to happen. You want them to not have a hard crash, obviously, with when they do have a setback. But if they kind of know the process of everything, they will survive it and be better off for it.
And if they're in a good financial footing, hadn't run up credit card debt, don't have it, then they're able to able to withstand that setback a whole lot easier.
So, with all this being said, it's seems like common sense, but you'll be surprised that someone that hasn't been through that, such as a kid entering college or a student, it's good to have those discussions. Maybe let them listen to this podcast, but help them build kind of a strong foundation of at least knowledge, and they'll be able to build wealth through that. But the biggest thing, help them to be able to not stress over that, their finances while they're in college. That's I know for many of us, college was a great time that we remember, and it's probably more stressful than ever for kids these age. But while we want them to learn, we want them to look back on those days fondly, and I think using some of these tips can help them do that.
I do. I think that's a great thing. And in terms of you listening to this podcast, and probably from a parent's perspective, the quicker you're able to do that, the quicker they get off your payroll.
That's right.
So they're not pulling from and you can build your retirement plan better after those days. And for those kids that are listening to, or young adults that are listening to, I just encourage you that you're much more marketable, and you have less stress in your life and can have a lot more fun if you're off your parents' payroll too. That freedom is something that every kid wants, and if you're still living with or pulling from because of some financial decisions you made, I know that happens, but if you come out in good standing, it's a whole lot easier.